Well, it's shade tree time again, and I am working on my 95 Tigershark. I call it a Monte Carlo. I believe it's actually a Montego. I was told it was a Monte Carlo by someone. I don't know much, if anything, about a Tigershark, if you want to know the truth, other than it's a jet ski, and they had a very bad reputation from the other companies and people who rode the other jet skis. I don't think it's so bad. I kind of like the little Suzuki engine, and I like the way it sounds. And it's a unique shape design on this jet ski. But, the problem I thought was a cooling issue, because I had read posts looking up a 95 Monte Carlo, and I could not find specifically my problem, but similar, very similar. And the guys were saying, hey, I've got this, and it does this, just a couple minutes running, which I got it up plain, boom, it just cut out and put me in the middle of the lake. Luckily, I was able to get it started. But they were saying that the temperature sensor will go bad, and it's right here in your exhaust. You can get it out. Usually you're going to need a impact screwdriver to get that thing loose. And it runs a wire around and plugs in over here. But I don't think that's the problem at this point, and I don't think cooling is the problem, because when I looked up 95 Montego, that's when I found that exact same problem that someone else had posted on PWC Today forum, where you can idle this thing all day long on a hose, you can idle it in the lake. I can even rev it up on a hose, but revving it up in the lake where the engine is under load and the water is passing through the jet pump, it'll bog, it'll blah, blah, blah. And I was finding that if I would just shut it off from its idle, I could look down into the throat of the carburetor and see it get wet with gas after the fact, which points to a bad needle and seat. It's leaking. You know, there's a little bit of fuel leaking down in there, which you don't want that either. But the main problem was solved, where you're cutting out, and I should have known this from Kawasaki 1100s, where the screens get dirty inside the carburetor, and that is what supposedly is going to be wrong with this one. We'll take this apart and see, but supposedly this screen is going to be filthy. And of course I need to build this carburetor. The kit is supposed to be here today, according to the tracking info that I have. But it won't come with the base plate gasket, and it won't come with this breather, up to the breather gasket. So I'm going to have to build those out of this Velcro gasket material, which is readily available at any auto parts store. What else? To get this off, it's just 10 millimeter. As with any jet ski, 10 millimeter, you've got 2 10s on the breather. Under that, you'll see your flame arrestor. Remove the flame arrestor, you'll see this. 4 more 10s. Try not to drop them in the throat of the carburetor. But since you're pulling the carburetor with this, it's not that big of a deal. And then you've got 2 13s at the base of the carburetor that hold it onto the intake. And of course, your 3 lines. This is your vacuum pulse line, and your fuel inlet line, which I've got. That's the factory holder clip to hold the line tight. And then I've got my return line, which I put an Oetiker clamp on, which is now destroyed, but that'll help me know which is which without having to look back in. And you know, so when I put it back together, I know which line is which right off the bat. And then you've got the 2 10 millimeter. You got to use a wrench, take your cables loose to get your carburetor freed up. And then you're ready to build your carb. So that's what we're going to be doing in the next video, or the next part of this video, is building this Mikuni. And we'll see just how dirty that screen is in there. All right, let's capture the moment. You can see I got some little dirty stuff in there. And these don't use the clear plastic piece that the Yamaha SB, what is it? BI 44s. It's a 44 millimeter, I think, Venturi. But let's see how dirty this filter is, because that's what the forum post said is causing the problem. And from the looks of it, it's not horrible. So it'll be interesting. It will be interesting, but this carburetor certainly needs a build. I mean, look at all that garbage in there. Got some corrosion on this little plug here. Definitely needs a build, man. So I don't have ultrasonic parts cleaner or anything like that. I have Berryman B12 Chem Tool carburetor parts cleaner to throw everything down into and try to get it working again. But there it is. Not as bad as I really expected that to be more plugged than that, but you know, I guess it is. There is trash in the bottom of it. See all that? That may very well be creating an issue. But we'll build it, slap her back on, and see if it makes a difference.